All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to Eyes Open Final Fantasy VIII stream part 2.
We want to do a bit of a recap of where we are in the game.
We probably should. That's probably a good idea. First of all, I should also say I'm Matthew Nyquist. I'm the writer and director of Eyes Open, and I'm here with...
I'm Logan Bodenhamer, an associate producer and VFX consultant on Eyes Open.
And we are doing a game stream of Final Fantasy VIII because it directly links to the Eyes Open story, which is pretty cool. Talked about it a little bit last stream. If you have any questions or comments about the movie or the game or anything really that's, relevant, our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all have chat, which Logan will be monitoring. And there's a QR code there on your stream. You go directly to our Kickstarter. Only with your help can we make this movie happen. So we would love for you to go to our Kickstarter, give us any amount. There's lots of cool rewards for you. And then I'll, of course, give you a shout out on our social media. If you do the social media shout out, that's a video one. So I'll do that. Okay, so Final Fantasy VIII. Where are we in the game? We started the beginning of 2001 tutorials, where the beginning of the game teaches you how to do lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to the ominous fire cavern, where we defeated Ifrit, got Ifrit. All part of the
timers.
Yes, the timers and the weird hat people, which got us back, and we had a big test to go through, which with an invading force, which we defeated back. We defeated the boss, a great cinematic sequence, and now we just got back, and we're gonna go see what the aftermath is of this. And just a reminder, I am playing on original hardware. This is a PlayStation 1 running RGB output. I am running on an X station, so it's a SD card instead of a CD. But besides that, everything is completely OG. Running through the RetroTink 4K with the Trinitron reset. I think this is Zell's hometown. Yeah, say hi to your mama. Thunder. I always have Squall draw. If that's not good to do, if anyone wants to tell me that I should be doing something else, please let me know.
What is Squall again? Like, what is its ability?
Squall is the main character's name.
Oh.
So it's the main character. It's a weird name. I feel it.
Sorry, I thought that was like some kind of storm move.
No,
I didn't read all the text well enough last time.
It's all good. So yes, Mr. Squall, Leonhardt, is the person I always draw things into. If there's a better thing I should do, then let me know. I do have a couple cheats on to make sure that Squall is able to complete the game, because we're really playing it for the story. One of them is all items. I think this is like one of his best weapons, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that, and we'll see what that ends up doing. It's interesting. Oh, because that's Squall. Let's see what else. Zell. Okay. Zell is... he's okay. He's not my favorite. Let's Let's see what we can get for... Wish this is pretty cool. We'll give her her thingy. And then... Zell, I guess we'll do...
That's a wild word. Ergus?
Guys.
Okay.
There's a game that came out around this time. It was a Final Fantasy fighting game, and it was called... It had that same name. Guys. God bless the ring. So, yeah. Oh, and Selfie's in the party. Okay. I guess we should give Selfie something too. Little did I know that selfies would be a huge thing when I played this again. Okay, now we got equip. Already stuff. So I should mention, if you've never played a Final Fantasy game before, every single Final Fantasy is completely a different game. I'm trying to remember how you even equip weapons. I haven't done that yet.
It's not an item?
I don't think so. No. Someone's gonna be like, you idiot, you do this. Which is fine. Okay, I'm gonna set the auto be cheap. Okay. Okay. This is... There's gotta be an equip. Maybe you don't equip, maybe it just automatically... You mind Googling that? See how you equip weapons in Final Fantasy VIII? The funny thing is I have played this before. Okay, let's see. What else can we buy? I can also... So I have unlimited items. That's the one cheap I did. I can sell... I could, you know... I can sell stuff. So I'm gonna sell...
Okay, so I don't think you equip weapons. You take... Like, you have a weapon, and then you take your old weapon to a junk shop, and if you have the correct items in guild, you can have your weapon changed to a different version.
Awesome, okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, you can also upgrade it or downgrade it.
I'm gonna make
just
sure...
kinda, yeah, one weapon.
I got some more money, so I'm gonna go ahead and... Here, guys. And then Selfie already gave her Strange Vision. Okay, nice. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and again, I know it's cheap to do that, but we're really playing it because we want to see the story. I don't think there's any items I need because I have all the items. Yeah, I literally have every item. Yeah, okay. So we need to find Zell's parents. No thanks. I don't. Hopefully I wasn't supposed to do that. Yeah, I don't want to play cards. Okay. No, I just want to play the game. Okay. I'm not interested in cards. I wish I liked card games.
They're not for everyone. I like kind of more traditional card games. Some card games get really too complicated for me though.
Yeah, I didn't mean to talk to you first again. I'm gonna ask a different question. Okay. You know what? Okay, thank you. I didn't want to do it anyway. I played Magic the Gathering back forever ago. We haven't gone this way yet, right? Or is this where we came from with the hotel?
Lindsberg's actually doing a really cool Magic the Gathering tournament, like the spellbook store that's here. They're doing it in the old mill.
That is cool. Oh, that's right. I can go in here. That is really cool. So when I played Magic the Gathering, I don't know. Okay, here we go. I didn't know if anyone else in town knew what it was. I played it mostly in Wichita. With some friends I had in Wichita. So I'm gonna go see your room, Zell. You're not gonna keep me out.
This is RPG. You can go wherever you want.
Apparently not. Zell will not let me. He's making me go back. Reminds me of in Final Fantasy VII, where you're exploring, you're telling a flashback of when you visited your whole hometown, and you go into Tifa's house, and then if you go into her room, she's like, "Did you go in my room?" And then you can either lie or say yes, and if you say yes, she gets pretty mad. And everything you do in there, he tells her, like, "Did you play my piano?" And then, like, of course, you do everything, right?
It's funny that the game feels the need to, like, honesty check you.
Well, because in a game, you just kind of do everything, right? You just go through and you do whatever. Wrong goddamn time. Okay. The god in this story, the gods got tired, so they made humans to do everything so they could sleep.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. That's not a bad idea.
You just do the work. I'm gonna nap. Goodbye.
Oh, and then the people conquered the guy. I don't remember this story at all. First playthrough.
I mean, that's fair.
That's interesting. I wonder if that'll come into play. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I have to remember the name. Alright, well, we found the parents. So, again, if you have any questions, comments about Eyes Open, please hit us up in the chat. You can just watch, that's fine too. Our last stream, I didn't check the recent numbers, but after a couple days, people watched it later and it got, it was up to 900 and something last time.
That's pretty
cool.
good.
They're gonna wear something that for their band. Okay, let's see what this shop has to offer.
I like the big gas station sign.
Nice. Okay, I rented a car because I've got lots of money now.
That's one of the cool things with Final Fantasy. They just casually have things like cars and modern technology in this fantasy world.
Kind of a cool car. Yeah, it's weird how it's like some of it's magical and some of it's realistic. Have you played any Final Fantasies?
No, because I haven't had too many consoles in my life, but although no, I technically have played one for a little bit. I've played a touch of Final Fantasy XIV because of their free trial, and I have a friend who loves it, so I played it with him.
You say 15?
14.
14. I've heard 14's pretty good. I played 11 back in the day, but I have not, which was online. I have not played.
I enjoyed the little bit of 14 that I tried. I didn't get too far into it, but it's kind of funny. I had, on a whim, I had the idea to name my character Bart Simpson, and because it's a multiplayer game, it's like your usernames are limited to what's available. And somehow that hadn't been taken yet, so I've got Bart Simpson in Final Fantasy XIV.
Nice. You could probably sell that to someone if you wanted to.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know how it hadn't been taken yet.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
I don't know where it came from.
I've never really gotten into an MMO. I tried World of Warcraft back in the day when it came out, and I played it for a while. And then when Star Wars Galaxies, have you heard of Star Wars Galaxies?
Yeah.
Not Knights of the Old Republic, but Galaxies.
I've heard of it a little bit. Like, I don't know too much about it.
So talk about, like, one of the most overhyped games potentially of all time. It was hyped to be so amazing. Like, it was supposed to be like this really amazing game. You were going to be able to ride in ships all over the place. And they hyped it up to be like this ultimate Star Wars experience. And on the game show, Shadow, Richie, and I... Okay, so we're getting a little bit of the story here. So the actual target that they wanted us to get was that communications tower. And they're talking about blocking these communications. That's starting to get into a little bit of the real story.
Okay.
And yeah, we're gonna overhear a little bit. Yeah, they're cultivating armies of the communications tower. As long as we repair the communication tower, everything is good to go. Okay. We could have made more money if they'd stayed and caused more of a ruckus. This is you're starting to see a little bit of the
they're not entirely.
There's something
honest.
going on. And Quistis jumps in here, of course, he's my best student. And we're gonna start to get into the love story, I think, pretty soon. We haven't met the love interest yet, Renoa. But there's like a I won't give any. I felt good. But so in Star Wars Galaxies, we were all excited to have like a ship together and fly around the galaxy. And then I better save just in case. And then it came to the launch of Star Wars Galaxies, and much to my chagrin, okay, so it won't let me save. It specifically is locking me out of that save point. I don't know if that's just bad design or if it's not wanting me to save right now. So we get the launch of Galaxies, we install it, and basically everything we were excited for wasn't available yet. And then it was gonna come later, right?
Oh yeah.
And so basically we ended up running around. I can't remember what it wanted me to do. It said just hang around here. I think it wants me to go to the dorms. And so we ran around like killing like womp rats. Yeah, I'll tool around up here. We ran around like killing womp rats, and then like the cool thing was they did, and it was just Tatooine too. You couldn't like really do anything. And so we ended up going to like Mos Eisley and hanging out in the cantina, and that was like okay. But we were so excited to play this game, and then we played it for a couple months, and of course there was subscription service you had to pay for too.
Of course.
Caused her a little maybe. And we were so disappointed. Like I've never really been able to play an MMO since without being completely disappointed with that game. I do want to give is there anything back here? There's nothing back there. I do want to give Final Fantasy 16 a try sometime.
I think that one's single player again.
Oh, it is single player, right? 14 is the one.
I think 14 is the only one that's an MMO.
16 I'm excited to play. I haven't played 16 yet.
I haven't heard much about it.
I've heard good things from friends. Final Fantasy used to be like this gigantic event. Like it was a really big deal. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be. I'm gonna talk to these people again, see if just to go somewhere. I know there's like a dance coming up.
In Final Fantasy 16, there's been 8 Final Fantasies since this game that we're playing has been made. Final Fantasy VIII. That's kind of crazy.
And just stick around here. Okay. So the whole reason it's called Final Fantasy, did we talk about that last time?
I don't think so.
A lot of people, if you like Final Fantasy, you probably already know, but so Square was a game development company back in Cypher. What's he up to? Oh, but we're getting a little bit more story here. We would have been heroes if it wasn't for that withdraw order. And of course, they come to correct him. Jeez.
Ooh, throwing shade
Burn.
now. It just...
Wow, it's all coming out.
Kind of funny. You can kind of tell the type of character design he has, even through the crunchy pixels.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he's mad. He's like,
yeah,
pixels
he's
are shaking.
vibrating.
Oh, Sid. You'll be disciplined for irresponsible behavior. You must follow orders exactly during combat. Oh, but Sid likes him, of course. You'd all become machines. You both think and act for yourself. Oh, this, okay. And then the weird hat guy comes. And then Sid's like, stop telling them not to be machines. So you start to get a little bit that there's something weird going on within CD. I won't say anything. We are not a non-profit organization. They'll pay us more money. Oh, here we go. Report to second floor hallway. I repeat. Second floor hallway. Okay. So the company was not... If I can get to it from this. Did I save yet? Okay. They made some games. They weren't great, not necessarily terrible. They weren't great. They didn't do so well. And they were kind of gearing up where it would... Oh, I should have gone to the map. Where it would have been their last game. So Hironobu Sakaguchi... Oh, someone won't let me use the map. Hironobu Sakaguchi came up with the idea of a story-driven game that was very much inspired by Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
I need to go to the second floor. Inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, where the combat would be D&D based, and then a heavy emphasis on story. And since it was their last game, it was fantasy. They called it Final Fantasy. It was also a lot of inspiration from Dragon Quest, which in the United States is called Dragon Warrior. Oh, here we go. Here's our people.
I think aren't they about to release a new Dragon Quest?
They are, and there's some remakes too.
No, I had that mixed up.
There's a few remakes. Alright, let's see what else is going on. Sup? One at a time. Yeah, they'll get anxious. Selfie won't even say anything. Okay. About you.
It's Dragon Age. It's the new Dragon Age game.
Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Okay. So... Rage. Okay. Oh. What we had to do. Weird hat person. Zell's up first, of course. But the story starts to get more interesting. Final Fantasy VII story was super captivating.
Yeah.
The story in this game is really... I didn't get far enough in it to really know super well what's going on.
Well, that just
Only
means
two
we can
people
discover it on the stream.
Yeah, exactly. I got to, I think, right where it started to get interesting, and then... Oh, here we go. Okay. These are the 4 students that passed. Us. Congratulations. So we're now members of CD officially. The Weird Hat garden faculty keep giving Sid the what for.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to say, sir?
Kind of funny that the gardener is is one of like the overlords of the school.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the garden festival. Okay, I think that's where the love story begins, which this game is a love story.
Hmm.
So if you're watching this later, you're not watching it live, of course we can't answer your questions live, but you can send us messages on Facebook and we'll answer them that way. And of course, we'd really like your support on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, a gunblade specialist, which Cypher also is. This bell is so weird. Nice. Oh. Okay, what do you have to say?
You know, I was kind of thinking back to that whole thing about Star Wars Galaxy and how you couldn't really get into an MMO after that because it was supposed to be this perfect game. There's kind of been a lot of these ultimate Star Wars games people tried to develop that just didn't go anywhere. Because there's the Battlefront 3 that collapsed, but that one also had, you know, your ground and air combat and like flying in between the ground battle and the space battle all happening in one multiplayer match. And that project never succeeded in fully getting developed. And there was 1313, which was like this, you know, it's supposed to be super detailed Coruscant underworld kind of adventure.
Yep. Was that the one that never came out?
Yeah.
So I got a demo of that at E3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the unreleased one.
Wow.
Yeah. So at E3, God, what year is that? Is that 2010? I can't remember. It was around that time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So at E3, there's like the main show floor, but then there's also these private rooms where you can get demos of private demos of games with the developer, and you have to make reservations, and you have to get approved and all that stuff to get into those. So anyway, we got into a few of them. We got into a really cool Last of Us one where me and I can't remember which person was with me for that, but it was me and one other person for The Last of Us. And then there was 1313, and we got to see, and they also give really cool WAG, and I still have it. It's a card, like a credit card, but it's actually a USB key.
Okay.
And so you put the USB key and it has all the assets from the game that you can use to write up articles or make videos or whatever.
That's awesome.
And but so we went into this little small room and it's decorated all Star Wars-y. And so I just remember starting, and there's like this elevator, and you go down to the Coruscant underworld, and it looked really cool. And I was really disappointed when it got canceled.
Yeah, I think
Disney.
Disney is the reason. It just purged everything.
It looked dark. Like it looked, not like lighting wise. It looked like it was gonna be pretty serious.
Yeah. That, and I think just Coruscant is a very underexplored planet in the video games. There's a lot of potential for something there.
For sure.
Very interesting, like, you know, navigationally, for exploring those levels because of the verticality of the city.
Yes, and there's a lot of the books explored it a little bit. The movies don't explore it that much.
Yeah. They were originally going to include it in episode 9, but that got scrapped.
Oh, episode 9. Have you read the original script?
I haven't read it all the way through, but I've seen like synopses. Although I kind of want to read the original one.
It's pretty cool. I'd love to see the George Lucas version where they like discover the origins of the Force.
Yeah.
The Journal of the Will. So I think this is where the love story begins, if I remember right. This is where we meet. Yeah, that's Renoa. And our movie Eyes Open is also a love story. Less monsters.
Yep.
I love how you like can't. He has like no face because of the angle and the pixel.
Well, he's got like a cyclops eye in the middle of his face. There. You can see like a single dark pixel, you know.
Which makes this line deliver even better. I think this is a meme, or it used to be.
Yes.
And then when he turns his head a little, you can see another eye.
Yeah.
You only dance with someone you like. Okay, then. Interestingly enough, this is Tara's brother's favorite Final Fantasy. We were talking at the last family gathering. And this is his favorite.
You can like see his eyebrow as he moves, and it just fades back into the single.
Yeah, and there's like a weird something for a nose.
Uh-huh.
Alright, and so these CG scenes, like when we saw these the first time, we were like blown away. Like there had been these FMVs in games, but like something that was this high quality for 1999.
Right. The rendering is gorgeous.
Yeah, they invested a ton in rendering because they really thought with story-driven games, which was, this was kind of Square's golden age. They had the NES, the original Nintendo in that era, but then when the SNES, the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom was out, they had a lot of really great games, and they took off and started to gain a little bit of popularity in the United States. And then they really, really took off with the PlayStation era. You had Final Fantasy VIII, or Final Fantasy VII was really the one, and then 8 and 9. You had 3, and then you had Chrono Cross, which I love. And just tons. Suikoden wasn't Square, but the genre of JRPG did really, really well.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation had a decoder chip. The competing consoles could not show video of this quality of decompression codec. Like if you look at the Sega Saturn, the N64 had cartridges, so it couldn't really do it anyway. But the Sega Saturn, you could get an add-on card that could play videos of high quality, but the PlayStation had it built in.
With Sega and their add-ons.
Oh yeah, they love them.
Oh man,
I've got my Tower of Power over there.
Nice. It's like, oh yeah, our console can do this if you get the add-on, and then all the developers are like, well, you can't guarantee people are gonna have this, so.
So they kept getting scared of like the wrong things, like because they got 50% of the market share. I'm in trouble getting my headphones to be. Well, yeah. They had 50% of the market share with the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and they were doing well. But then they saw that the Atari Jaguar was coming out, and it was supposed to be 64-bit, and it ended up being terrible. And then the PC, we talked about the CD systems last time, the PC Engine CD, and then the Nintendo PlayStation ended up not coming out. So they rushed a CD add-on to market, and then with the Jaguar being 64-bit, they wanted a stopgap before that generation came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they released the 32X, which I have one, but
really,
the system itself, the hardware is actually interesting, but there weren't any good games that took advantage of it.
Yeah, there's only really one that I'm interested in trying sometime. I really want to try Knuckles Chaotix.
I thought that was the one. Yeah, I have that
Yeah.
one. It is nothing like any of the other Sonic games.
Hmm. Why is that?
It's not. So the other Sonic games, well, it depends which Sonic game, right?
Right.
If you're playing 1 through 3, it's mostly about speed, although 3 gives you a little bit more exploration than the other two. And then Sonic and Knuckles is just the second half of 3, but it was delayed, so they
Yeah.
and then Sonic CD's pretty much all exploration.
Sonic CD is weird too, and how it's like separate from the traditional, like the normal development team for Sonic, and they kind of had their own ideas and stuff.
Well, they were competing. Japan and America are competing because Tom Kalinske had all these. He had this 4-point plan, 5-point plan for Sega. One of them was Sonic, and there was a whole thing, and Japan didn't like his plan, but they hired him, and when they hired him, they said he could do whatever he wanted. And so Nakayama-san was like, when I hired you, I said you could do whatever you wanted, so I'm gonna let you do it. And his plan worked exceedingly well. They went from 3% to 50% of the market share. Like it was perfect. But it created a lot of competition between Japan and the United States because the Genesis was 3rd place in Japan. Like it didn't do well like it did in the United States.
Okay.
Another tutorial. Gross. And so there was competition between the two. So Yuji Naka and the main Sonic team pretty much came over to the United States and worked on what became Sonic 2. And at the same time, Japan was trying to make a Sonic 2, and they ended up going with the American Sonic 2. And that became Sonic 2. And then the Japanese Sonic 2 became Sonic CD. Which is why Sonic CD has like the Sonic 1 sprite and not Sonic 2, because they were made at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and took it in a completely different direction. Anyway, Sonic Chaotix, or Knuckles Chaotix, there's this bind mechanic between the two characters.
I know about that.
And the entire game is based around that, and it just plays nothing like a Sonic game. It looks kind of like a Sonic game. Have you seen the 32X version of Doom?
No.
I'm
gonna have to look this up now.
Yeah, there's a really cool 32X version of Doom. Okay, sleep attack against T-Rex. I don't have any sleep spells, Quistis. I don't think.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool, actually. I love a lot of the different homebrew type things that people are doing these days. Zell. I don't think I have sleep. I don't know where I would have drawn that. I bet I draw it.
So have you played both the 32X version of Doom and the PC version?
I haven't played the PC version of Doom in forever. I played Doom 2 more, but I played it back in the day. And then the 32X version is really interesting, and it shows how powerful that hardware was. And Sega did some really dumb things back in the day. They had the hardware, which was pretty good, and they didn't really let developers do much with it. And then it only stayed in the market for a year. So and then the Sega CD was like the same thing. The Sega CD cost, I think it was like $300 way back then. Might have been $200. So that's like twice as much now, right? With the inflation.
And I think the 32X could interface with the Sega CD as well, so they were hoping some people would use both.
It could. It could, and they didn't. There's only a couple games that actually utilize that functionality. But the Sega CD had a lot of issues. Get some more sleeps here. Quality-wise, the Model 2 is a little bit better. I have an ODE for replace mine. I use the Mega EverDrive Pro. My original Sega CD, a friend accidentally dropped it down the stairs.
Aww.
Yeah. So.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it never worked after that. It literally hit the stairs and was like, ka-gong, 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 ka-gong. Yeah, I definitely got a new sword there. That's pretty cool. Okay, so, and I'm going to... Now I can do the thingy that she wanted me to do. With abilities, and... Oh, wait. No, we want to do Junction. Magic. Which one did she want me to do, though? She wanted me to do Sleep. I don't remember which one she wanted me to do Sleep with, though. We'll do it. Okay, there we go. Magic says to sleep now. And then, so people spent tons of money for all these. Oh, there he is. There's the T-Rex. People spent all this money on all these add-ons, and then Sega didn't end up really supporting them. Like the Sega CD actually has some really good games. The FMV games are not. There's some really good games for the Sega CD.
Which ones are some of your favorites from the CD?
Popful Mail. I really like Popful Mail. It's like a side-scrolling action game with some RPG light type stuff. I'm gonna try to defeat this thing. Some RPG light mechanics, and it kind of a quirky, fun story. If you play it, I recommend getting the unworked designs version. So the company that localized those were awesome because they brought games over that wouldn't have otherwise come to the United States. But
that's
the downside, unfortunately, is that they also made them much harder, because back in those days, American companies especially were worried about video game rentals. So American companies would make games harder so you couldn't beat them in a weekend, and you'd buy it instead of rent it. And so working designs, they brought these games over, but they made all of them much harder. So like you get less gold when you defeat enemies, but things cost like way more. Enemies have a lot more HP. So there's versions called Unworked Designs now that you can download that have it still has the same translations and voice acting and all that, but they've returned the stats and the difficulty back to the original Japanese version.
That's good.
Yeah,
I can't imagine someone today making a game harder just for distribution. So I feel it just messes with the balance.
It seems bizarre, and a lot of games suffered really badly because of that. Like it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like some games are pretty much unplayable because of it. And they're pretty good at
it. We want you to buy the game, but then just nobody ends up playing it. and the word of mouth is awful.
Yeah, it's really, really bizarre. They did that. Oh, I have all these crazy items. Let's see what happens with a meteor stone. But yeah, they did it to a ton of. So a lot of times, there's translations that you can do. Translation patches that'll take the Japanese version of games from that era. Oh yeah, that's hurting. Translation patches from that era that will take the Japanese version and turn it into English. So you can have all the original stuff. Like the original Nintendo, there was lots of audio. All the battles right now. All of it. There was audio chips in the Japanese versions of some of the original Nintendo games, and the American version of the Nintendo couldn't utilize any of them, so they weren't in the American versions. So if you if you're on an emulator, if you play the Japanese version, you can hear. Pretty cool. They put little synthesizer chips in the cartridges.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things with old cartridge games. How they basically had just this additional board.
Yep.
That would plug in the console, so it wasn't just like modern Switch cartridge or something. It's basically like a glorified SD card.
Exactly. Yeah, it was really cool.
That's why, Sega and the add-ons again, that's why you were able to do things like Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, where you could just stack cars on top of each other.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. They also had they developed a 3D, have you ever seen Virtua Racer? I think that's what it's called. No. So, let's see. Let's do strength again. So they developed this, I think, the VDP chip that basically allowed for 3D graphics at the time, and they only released one game with it. They spent all this money developing it, and they only released one game with it because it made the game too expensive. And then they
this was still Sega, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They ended up releasing the 32X instead. Oh, we're both asleep. But you wake up and you hit.
They just made all the wrong short-term decisions.
Back in that time, yeah, it's really crazy. And then the Saturn, of course, they weren't really expecting 3D to do well. And then the Saturn actually did really well in Japan. Not so well in the United States. They don't release a Sonic game since Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the last one. They don't release one for the 32X. They don't release one for the Saturn. And then for the Dreamcast, the Saturn is still out in the United States, and people are still mad about the add-ons they bought that are worthless now. And so they invested in the Saturn, and a couple years into the Saturn, the head of Sega of America, who Tom Kalinske, left because they stopped listening to him. Because one of the things was he'd negotiate with Silicon Graphics for the hardware for their next system, and it was then took it to Sega of Japan, and they were like, no, we're not going to use that. And it ended up being what the N64 used. Yeah, Nintendo came and got it from him. So Sega, he left. So Bernie Stolar, head of Sega at the time, announces, or not early on, but too early in the Saturn's lifestyle, that the Saturn is not the future of Sega. So then, no one buys anything Saturn anymore either.
That's not what you do. You don't just announce that, hey, yeah, we're not gonna move forward with supporting this before you release something to replace it.
Yeah, so bizarre. And the other thing, Sony was just amazing. Sony, for their E3 presentation, the Sega comes out and the Saturn is like, oh, I can't remember the exact prices. I think it was 300, which, you know, back then that's like 600 now.
Yeah.
So pretty expensive. Although not PS5 Pro expensive. So then Sony gets up and the CEO says one word, 199.
I've seen that clip.
Yeah.
And then the audience explodes.
And Sega has this really bizarre. You should look up the original Sega Saturn video they showed. It's like 8 minutes long, and it's like really cringe. Like it's trying to use 90s stuff, which they did a really amazing job with during the Genesis. But then they're trying to do it with this Saturn video, and it's just awful. It's really poorly done. That said, I love the Saturn. There's a lot of, especially Japanese exclusive Saturn games that never came over here that I love.
Were you able to find translations for them?
There are a lot of translations, and some of them I just play because I took Japanese with my language in college.
Right.
So if it's not too story heavy, especially, I can pretty much play it with the Japanese and be okay. But like Grandia, which came out on the PlayStation as well in English, but it's better on the Saturn because it was designed for the Saturn, and there's like some cool water effects and stuff that you don't get on the PlayStation. Yeah, it was an interesting generation.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, you know, battle transition effect that we were talking about before in Final Fantasy, where it's just that's something you could only do on the PlayStation 1, and Saturn is like that as well.
Yep. So this is weird. This is a weird scene. Quistis, I think this is supposed to be a love triangle thing where your instructor is also interested in you. So you go through the training center, and then now all of a sudden you're out here with her, and it's awkward. Time is it? But what's interesting, like if you you've read Eyes Open, I was playing this, you know, during the very beginnings of, you know, the story of Eyes Open. She's quitting as she's no longer an instructor. So it's like implied that she's doing it so she can, you know, date you or whatever. She quit as an instructor, now she's just like you. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up working together. Sorry, Quistis. I think we're destined as Renoa. In my original save, of course, Renoa is named Hera.
Nice.
Is that all you're gonna say? Squall is so oblivious, but I can't really say anything about that either. But it's interesting. I love the timing here is interesting.
Yeah.
The Quistis failed as an instructor, supposedly, despite having the only group that passes quiz.
Which means they probably weren't supposed to have passed the quiz.
Yes. What's interesting is, so just like any Final Fantasy, this outward story really isn't important. It's what's gonna happen later. I think it's after the next area. It starts to make things interesting. Squall is not interested. Yeah, people didn't like how he was kind of a jerk, but it's a different take. So it's interesting. Our stream actually doesn't have much of a delay.
Yeah, I haven't been...
Go talk to a wall.
Oh yeah, it's pretty close.
I don't want to carry anybody's burden. So if you've donated to the Kickstarter and we haven't said anything, apologize for that. We will definitely give everyone a shout out. That doesn't appear on our list until later.
Mm-hmm.
But we really appreciate all that. That's a nice camera move.
Yeah, these animations and like the locked camera angles with the backgrounds are still probably my favorite part of this game so far.
So I really enjoyed watching your short today.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Are you gonna submit it to festivals or?
Oh, of course. I'm gonna be submitting it to as many festivals as I possibly can.
Should submit it to Wi-Fi.
That's the plan.
I know a guy.
Of course.
But no, it was really, really good. Do you want to tell people about it, or do you want to keep it all under wrap? Okay.
No, I'm not really keeping it under wrap. So the short is called Edge of Oblivion, and it's also a love story, sort of. It's a sci-fi drama about a mechanic on a space station that's orbiting a black hole. And something goes wrong. The space station starts sinking towards the black hole, and he's got to figure out how to get off the space station so he can eventually go back and see his girlfriend again. And yeah, it's been a fun short to work on because it's the first project I've really the first film I've really directed, done the whole process through. Most of the rest of them were just exercises in school or had a really short time frame, so you had to cut corners. But here I'm going through the full process, doing a lot of animation and visual effects because it started out as my game design practicum, which is sort of like an undergraduate thesis at Wichita State's media arts program. And I was studying game design in college, and I decided to switch over to film during my last year. So I was like, could I make a film and use Unreal Engine for all of the visual effects in this project? And they said yes. So I just kind of thought about what kind of a film do I want to make, and I'd always wanted to try making my own black hole because I was really inspired by the work done on Interstellar, and the idea sort of grew from there. So
it's really well done. Interstellar is definitely my favorite Nolan movie. It looks like we've got a couple comments.
Yeah.
Eve Hypnotic.
Hi, Eve Hypnotic. Things are going well. Just chilling here playing some Final Fantasy VIII.
Thanks for joining us, for sure. But no, Edge of Oblivion is awesome. I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's really, really well done. And the way you cut it, you've made some subtle changes to the editing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of editing tweaks.
And the way that you've cut it has really made the performances shine. It was. I watched it on my look at my screening room type thing today, and it was really fun to watch it that way. So everyone out there,
it's so cool to have a screening room in your house.
Hopefully, excited for you guys to get to check it out.
Oh yeah. I'm probably not going to release it on YouTube right away. I'm going to let it go through festivals first, and then
definitely
release it on YouTube. But
yeah, you should. If you submit it to bigger festivals, they will not accept it if it's available anywhere else.
Right. I'm going to try and submit it to basically as big as you can get, like Sundance, just to see if I can get in. Probably won't because there's a ton of competition, but it's worth a shot.
They try South by Southwest. And some sci-fi specific ones too.
Yeah.
I can help you with strategy on that.
I would love that.
Because there's tricks of the trade and all that. I wanted to use her.
We got a comment on Facebook from Julie. Edge of Oblivion really packs an emotional punch. Can't wait for it to be released. Oh, thank you so much.
It does pack an emotional punch. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it really does. I've kind of gotten to the point in the project where I've watched it so much that it's kind of like the emotions are sort of mush in my head because I've just watched it so many times. But I remember the first time I kind of had the cut together, I was like, wow, this is the first project I've done that really made me feel this way, and that was kind of cool.
That's really awesome. That's really what you want any project to do.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, it's really good. So I can't wait for everyone to see that. So Eve Hypnotic, everyone else watching out there, everyone watching later. I'm gonna cheat here so we can get through this battle and move on through the story. But we do have our Kickstarter on there. We'd love any donation there. Is no matter what the amount is super helpful. Goes directly into making this movie. We can't do it without you. You even come on set and hang out with us, which will be a lot of fun. You get to see Logan.
Yep, I'll be there.
Which is a huge draw. Man, this bee is a wasp or whatever the heck it is intense. Survived the meteor. Oh, there we go. Okay. It had a big freaking stinger. But I guess if you're watching later, you can still donate to the Kickstarter even if you're not watching live. So I know there's. Is this Renoa? Who is this? This is someone else, I think.
I don't think it's Renoa.
I don't think so either. It looks different.
Just
so
interpreting the 5 pixel faces here. Just
yeah, it could be anybody. So what drew you to Logan's read the script of Eyes Open. Without giving specifics, of course. What draws you into Eyes Open?
I think it's the emotional core of the story. Like, I know it's a true story between you and Tara. It's based on that. And that really comes through in the writing. It just feels like the emotions, I can connect with them because you really poured all of your personal experience into the script. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just got a comment. You can totally ask us anything. But yeah, the emotions. And also just the way the storytelling was crafted. I liked the order you revealed things in the script. It kept me hooked constantly. I was always kind of interested in what would come next because I never really knew the whole thing. But I was also just in love with the characters because of that emotional context. And both of those together really were just what hooked me, I think.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you saying that. It and like you said, it is 100% true story. Well, 99.9%. We had to condense some things to fit it into the amount of pages and time. It is also most likely going to be released as a book, which will have more.
That's cool. I didn't know you were planning on doing that.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for that too. So it's gonna be. It still won't let me use the man.
Okay. Question: what is the open eye exactly? Actually, I'm a bit confused. Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you take that one, Matt?
I can take it. Talk to this fellow. Return to your quarters. Okay, I will try to. Okay, so Eyes Open. Is. Will it not let me? Trying to return. Okay, sorry. I'm really bad at multitasking. I need to. Okay, so Eyes Open. It's a feature film. It will be released in most likely 2027 to theaters, to streaming services, kind of depending on where the distribution deal goes. But it is a romantic drama movie, and it is based on the true story of my wife and I, which is a intense journey, and it starts in the 90s. The story really starts in 1990-ish, and then most of it happens in the late 90s, and then ends up taking us through 2013, basically. But it's It's 99.9% a true love story. It's the kind of thing where when my wife and I would tell people this story, they would always be super into it and always say, "Oh, well, that should be a movie. That should be a book." Um, and then when we started writing the script, we really didn't know if that would actually be something that would work. So when we wrote the script, we started having after the first draft was somewhere decent, we started having people read it, the people that we trusted read it, and we were somewhat surprised by the result. I've worked on lots of movies, especially with producer Fred Roos, which I can talk about probably too. But whenever you send a script out, even like scripts that are written by really great screenwriters, you'll get feedback like, this just isn't for me. This isn't my genre. There's all sorts of things that can happen when you send out a script. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but that it won't grab certain people. And this particular script, Eyes Open, has had the most unanimous positive reception. When you're sending out a script, especially when it's based on your own true story, it's kind of a nerve-wracking experience. But so far, every single person that we've sent it out to has had a positive reception. Everyone that we've offered roles to for the movie have accepted. We have a lot of people with a lot of big time experience. Our cinematographer has shot for Sony and Apple and Disney and History Channel. She loved the script. And our executive producer, Sebastian Tuardos, started his career with Tom Cruise. He's done a lot of stuff with Paramount, Disney Television, etc. Talking to a potential editor I can't talk about yet, but he's also had a lot of positive responses to the script. He's done a lot of stuff. So, and I've been a part of projects where you send out scripts and they get ripped apart too. So,
I think
I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Eve Hypnotic? And then go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I think the positive reception it's a very unique combination, I think, for this type of drama, because it's also appealing to like the nerds, and like because both of the main characters are kind of that way, and that really appeals, I think, to. I mean, nerds are everywhere these days. It's cool to be one now.
Yeah, it wasn't then.
Yeah, and I think a lot of your classic romance films are more narrow in your archetype. So people are like, oh yeah, it's not for me because it's all about the romance specifically. Whereas here, there's a bit more going on, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of video game stuff in there, of course, movie stuff, but a lot of video game stuff. I've been a huge gamer.
Yeah.
All my life, Star Wars fan, D&D. Pretty much all the chat. The only geek thing I don't really like are zombies. I've never been into zombies.
I'm not a terribly big zombie person either. Although the whole gaming theme in Eyes Open is why
help me remember this. But the owls are still around. I'll never.
Okay, I'll help you remember it. I'll make sure I do not forget the owls.
But you were saying an important point about the movie.
The whole gaming theme is why we're playing Final Fantasy VIII, because there's a scene earlier in the movie where Final Fantasy VIII is an important part of the story, and Matt back then, because this is a true story, he was actually playing Final Fantasy VIII and he never beat the game, partially because of the events in this film. So we're going back and we're gonna do it.
We're getting it. But yeah, I've never beaten this game. Even though it came out in 1999, due to events in the film, which you will see once upon its release.
We got another comment from Julie. She said nerds rule. They do indeed.
is true. But no, my wife and I, we play video games together at least once a week, usually Friday night. It's usually more than that, but at least once a week. We usually play original Nintendo and then something on Switch, just because there's lots of good multiplayer.
Eva Hypnotic said, "Got you," and that's great. I would love to watch this true story based movie. I'm glad to hear that.
That's really nice to hear, Eve. You know, I don't know if you're following us yet, but we're Eyes Open Movie on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we're kind of releasing information about the movie gradually. Also, if you hit us up on our Kickstarter page, our video there goes a little bit more into depth about the movie. You can watch the video and hear me and my wife, because my wife and I wrote it together. So the story is told by the people that actually lived it, which is pretty, I think, pretty unique.
Eva also says, I'm kind of thinking about playing Final Fantasy VIII myself.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I recommend that you play it. What are there other Final Fantasies that you like? I'm gonna take a quick restroom break. I drank a lot of coffee before this, so I'd have energy.
Sounds good.
Handle the comments, chat to the folks, and I will return very quickly.
Mm-hmm. This is actually my first time going through a Final Fantasy game. I've played like a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV with a friend, but otherwise, like, this is my first experience. So it's been fun going through the story, and he's been playing it on PlayStation 1, which is also a newer experience for me. And that's just been a really fun experience. So yeah, like Matt said, if you have any prior experience with Final Fantasy, and we'd love to hear you talk about it in the chat. Yeah, this is my first playthrough. I haven't tried the game yet. This isn't Matt's first playthrough, although it will be after a certain point because he hasn't beat the game yet, but he has played it before. I think my favorite part is the art style. I love the combination of the really detailed backgrounds and the 3D models rendered over the top of them.
I have returned.
Oh, you played Final Fantasy XIV a lot? That's cool. That I have a friend that's his favorite Final Fantasy game, so I tried that with him, and yeah, it was pretty good, the section I played. I need to get back into it, I think.
But you can also, there's a QR code there you can scan, get to our Kickstarter, and you can watch our video there. You can learn a little bit more about the movie.
Right.
Did I miss anything?
Nothing major. Eva Hypnotic has played Final Fantasy XIV a while ago as well. That was the most recent
cool.
comment.
Yeah, I played Final Fantasy XI as well on the PS2. That was back when I was doing the breakbenx.com, so I'd get a lot of copies of things to play. And I got a copy of... No, I don't need a car right now.
You might explain what BreakbenX is.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So breakbenx.com, which I recently resurrected the forum this week for for other reasons. But if you go to breakbenx.com right now, the ancient forums that started in 2003 are there. So and you can still register and still post, but they literally were just resurrected, so I don't know. They're more of an archive right now. But anyway, breakbenx.com. I'll try to give the quick version. Back in 2002, a friend and I decided to do a kind of an internet radio show before podcasts, etc. were a thing. People started listening to it. We ended up getting industry folks listening to it. I don't want the person. Industry people started listening to it, such as the people that were developing Halo, which I was making fun of. We ended up doing a live interview with them. Yes, we'll go to Timber. So I'm really bad at multitasking, but we did that interview. We interviewed the Peanut Arcade guys. We did a bunch of kind of bigger interviews. We started getting lots of listeners. Ended up being this game journalism outlet with me and a bunch of friends, where for several years we developed this really nice community of people. This is all before YouTube and Twitch and everything, where we would do kind of a weekly live show, talk about games, have industry folks participate. The forums, we had industry folks participate, which was fun, such as Greg from Bungie. And got to go up to Bungie, went to E3 every year during those years. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You Hypnotic says, actually one of my friends plays Final Fantasy VIII a lot, so she suggested to play it.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I played it again right when it came out, because I was a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, so I was really anticipating it. But due to events that you'll see in the movie, I didn't get to finish it. But I really liked what I'd played. I'm not a huge fan of the draw system, but besides that, I'm so far liking it pretty well. Glad that I'm playing it, and in general, I like all eras of games. I really like the JRPGs of this era of PS1 and 4. What'd your friend think of Final Fantasy VIII? Eve.
Oh, yeah. I love that text bubble.
Oh, I missed it. I was looking down. What did it say?
It was just all caps. Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that was Zell, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not usually gonna spoil things, but if I remember right, we get gassed here and we pass out.
Ooh.
One of the few things I remember. Hopefully I'm remembering that right.
Do you remember where you got before you stopped your last playthrough?
I don't. I think I was on at least the second disc, because of course back then games came on multiple discs, right?
Right.
I think I was on the second disc, if I remember right. I think I'll start, like, because this is all, even though I don't really remember it, still familiar. I think I'll eventually get to a place where I won't remember anything.
That'll be kind of fun. There won't be any more spoilers.
Yeah, but this was, I played this in the 90s.
I'm impressed you remember it that well.
I have a really, really good memory. I remember my daughter has the same thing too, but I remember events with lots and lots of detail, which is good and bad. But it's one. And I also have journals going way back when, which is how we wrote the script.
Oh yeah.
With
that
memory
makes sense.
Plus journals, plus I keep everything on old hard drives. Yeah, so there. Yeah, this is where we get gassed. I remember this. So I had like chat logs, like MSN chat, AIM chat, all the different chats of the time, going back even into the 90s, but up through basically the events of the movie. So there were things that I'd forgotten about. Actually, entire scenes, like that scene where we're doing the show and couple people come to the house. That came from, I won't say any more exacts than that, but that came from a chat that I found where it's being described. Okay, so this is interesting. I remember this. Now all of a sudden you're playing as different people, and it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Different battle music.
That's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a game do that before.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it's a time differential or why or what. Now we're playing as Laguna and Co. I think it's like, it's either alternate reality or time travel. I can't remember what.
Both of which make sense for this franchise, though.
Yes. Definitely. But I remember getting to this part the first time I played it and being like, what? This, I was like all into Squall and company, and then all of a sudden you're Laguna, Ward, and Kiros.
Yeah. I really do like the battle music here, though. This is nice.
Yeah. Well, I have this soundtrack.
Cool.
They when we were doing the show, it was Q, one of our other hosts, found it for me at a convention, because this was back in the day where you couldn't just easily order stuff from Japan.
Right.
I gotten the Final Fantasy VII one imported like long before, but he found 8 for me. And now, of course, you can stream it on like Spotify and Apple Music or whatever. But
yeah,
back then it was, times were different.
I mean, it's even just easier to import stuff now because you've got all these online services that can do it no matter. Like,
is Play Asia still around?
I don't know. I can look. Oh yeah, looks like it is.
That's where we used to import a lot of stuff from Play Asia. It was one of the places that you get some cool stuff. But, there's a really cool game store in LA, and I can never remember the name of it, but I'd always take friends to it. And they had, it was expensive, but they had tons of import games.
That's kind of a cool specialization for a game store. Just,
yes.
We are only selling imported games, and that's, or maybe not only, but like having that section.
And it works in a place Los Angeles because there's so many. At least when I lived there, it was the largest population of Japanese speakers outside of Japan.
That's cool.
Concentrated in an area. Like there's Little Tokyo, which is really cool, great sushi. I have a few friends that always told me, you gotta beat Final Fantasy VIII, you gotta beat Final Fantasy VIII, but I just, couldn't after everything that happened. I did beat, I played Final Fantasy IX when I was a senior in high school. I got mono. I was really sick.
Ooh.
And also it's like around when 9/11 happened, so I missed a lot of school. I played Final Fantasy IX, and then Final Fantasy X. I've beaten Final Fantasy X. 10 is really, really good too. The story is interesting. It's.
Have you beat any past 10?
I played 12 a lot. I didn't end up beating 12. 13. Then once I got into USC and film stuff, I just didn't have the time that I used to have.
Right.
and Final Fantasy games take a lot of time. So 10 is tough. 10 is the most recent one that I've beaten all the way through. Another really great one, if anyone out there is wanting to play Final Fantasy Tactic is up there, really close to 7 with my favorite games of all time. It's a different. It's a tactical strategy RPG rather than a straight up RPG, and
so what's the difference primarily?
Well, it's a 2D sprites for one thing, but it's on like a strategy grid, so it's almost like moving pieces in like a board game, and it's very class based. So you can change. You start as a squire, and then you can move up to a knight, and then from there you can pick different things. Like if you master being a chemist, then you can go into the magical stuff. So you can become a mage or a black mage. You can become a summoner. Or a geomancer, ninja, and you can, once you learn the skills as that job, then you can kind of have them, and you build up. But the story is really interesting. It's one of the best video game stories of any kind. It's a really, really good.
That's good to know.
Story, yeah. It's I don't want to spoil anything, but it has to do with like classes like of people and war and the battle system's really awesome too, like just the fighting.
Yeah, like moving around on a grid definitely feels like it would be a nice addition to a game like this.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Did they ever make more Final Fantasy Tactics?
They
or was
did.
it ever just one?
They made one for they made 2 for Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that's
Final
cool.
Final Fantasy A2. But they're very different. The gameplay is similar, but the story is much lighter. Like the story in Final Fantasy Tactics is pretty heavy. Like
Sounds like it.
It's really good though. I'm trying to figure out where the heck I'm supposed to go. Okay, I already went here. Let's see. I guess I'll go down this road. See what's down here. I remember you're supposed to go to like the hotel. Yeah. Weird how things will just pop in my memory of where I remember. Oh, Laguna wants to go see the musician here.
Kind of fascinating. They still haven't explained why you're playing as a different party yet.
Yep, you just kind of are thrust into it. I don't at least remember ever having it explained. So I'm sure it is, but
yeah, you probably just didn't get to that part of the story.
Yeah. At least have a pleasant stay. Okay. I wonder if I was supposed to do. Okay, I was. Okay. Hello, folks. Love the design, the visual design of this game. I'm really happy with the interactivity, folks. If you have any questions about the game, about the movie, about anything else, we're eyes open on about every social media. Our usual table. All right, let's walk around. Let's see what's going around. On our Kickstarter there, if you hit that QR code, you can at least go there and watch our video about what the movie's all about. Logan's in the video. Logan shot the interview footage.
Yeah, that was a great day. I had a blast doing that.
That was fun. Now, look like that. Like that is so pixelated. Holy
Oh my!
moly.
Definitely wasn't designed to be that close very often.
Oh. That's quite the angle there. Pixelation. Okay, so we're a bunch of soldiers at a hotel. We're excited to See this musician here that's gonna play piano. Julia. They cut out all the music, so you know it's gonna be like
There's an
an
ambush.
intense. Oh, this is like the. There's a a version of this song with lyrics because it was a huge deal at this point in time to have a game soundtrack that had singing in it.
Well, it's still kind of unusual. I remember, Smash Bros. Ultimate, and they released their theme with lyrics, and it was just kind of like, whoa, that's different. And I love it.
Yep, me too. I love game music in general. I've got lots of soundtracks.
Okay, we just got the question: will Eyes Open be screened at any film festivals? And if so, which ones are you looking at?
So one interesting thing, if you notice the text underneath, it's Squall's thoughts because he's dreaming this. So, like, this guy can't be serious. So good question, Julie. Yes, it'll definitely be shown at film festivals. We're still finalizing our exact film festival strategy, but Sebastian, who's executive producer, is helping with that. But idea is some of the bigger festivals like Sundance, South by Southwest, Tribeca, something like that. Festivals are a lot of fun. I worked on this. It was actually a documentary. It was about 80s music called Dare to Be Different.
Nice.
That we interviewed, or they interviewed. I was on the editing, but interviewed all sorts of really cool musicians. Billy Idol, folks from the Talking Heads, lots of cool stuff.
Is that available to watch anywhere?
It was on Showtime and Paramount. I think it is now on VOD.
Okay.
But it's definitely out there to watch. But it premiered at Tribeca, and Joan Jett, who does like I Love Rock and Roll, who was also interviewed in the movie, she did like a concert before the movie played.
I see an entry for something called Dare to Be Different on IMDb from 2017.
That is probably it.
Cool. Yeah, 1982, a small radio station battles to bring a new wave to America. Cool.
That's it. Yeah, it's this radio station broke like every 80s band you can think of. Like REM, Nirvana, not Nirvana, it's 90s. Madonna, like a lot of the 80s music, they were like the first ones to break. I cannot figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do.
Are these still Squall's thoughts?
The white is Laguna's, and then when it's gray, it's Squall's.
Okay.
So what am I supposed to do here? Here, sit down. Okay, can I sit down? Where?
Eva Hypnotic said, I just visited your Instagram page, Eyes Open. After watching the intro videos, I believe the movie is going to be very interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you're excited.
Saying so. Excited to have you on board. Okay, this is driving me crazy. Where the heck am I supposed to go? I'm not supposed to talk to any of these people. Am I supposed to sit down? Anyone out here there's playing this knowing what the heck I'm supposed to do? Okay, I can't bother her. Okay, can I talk to the bartender?
That might be, well, bartender seems a bit far away.
She is not having it. Okay. Can I sit?
You done anything with the red person in the middle?
Yeah, they seem too close to Julia. I'm sure there's something I'm just missing here.
There's a piano player back there.
I tried to. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I had to talk to the guy sitting that you can barely see. Or at least I could barely see. Yeah, he got a cramp up there, and that Squall was like sad. Because Squall is so smooth.
Of course.
Go talk to a wall. Relax and stay a while. Oh yeah, because you talked to Laguna. And this whole thing is a love story. Of course, Julia comes over and says hello. Wonder if Laguna is like Squall in a past life. Oh, and he gets the cramp again. Haha. No cramps and eyes open.
Not from what I read. I don't think there's any
No
cramps
physical
in it.
cramps anyway. Maybe some mental ones. Okay, so at the bottom of that Squall, what's this guy thinking?
I see it. So Squall's watching this. Then.
He's dreaming it as he's gassed.
Okay.
Interesting storytelling technique.
You're still playing as Squall, but in the game, well, in the world, Squall is controlling these people. Except for the dialogue. That's cool.
It's interesting. I was really confused the first time I played this. I avoided all spoilers. I didn't have a strategy guide or anything. I didn't really read reviews because I knew I was gonna play it. I think I read like GameSpot's review and didn't really see any. Wait, I'm supposed to go see her in her room? I do not remember this. Am I dreaming? This is a dream. This is a dream. Squall is saying.
Oh, they're talking to each other now. Huh.
It's so funny, the two of them having this dueling.
Yeah.
So that's your brother in Edge of Oblivion, right?
Oh, yeah. Lead actor is Jordan Bodenhamer. And he actually is going to Wichita State for acting now. He's taking their theater degree, but is really targeting screen acting. And I kind of designed the character around him because I was writing it and already knew with the time frame I wanted to cast him. So we discussed the character a lot together while I was
That's so smart. He does a really good job, especially with the way you've cut it. His performance is really good. Her performance is good too. I don't think she's an actor though, right?
She's not. She's done some stuff on stage, but she's not like going for professional acting.
He does a good job. He pulled it off.
I cast her because they're actually dating, so there was that bit of chemistry there. And then the third character, Ace, is Jordan's friend Nick, and I thought he did a great job with that voice.
Yeah, he did. I was actually going to ask you who did that. It sounds very robotic. Reminded me a little bit of HAL 5000.
That was a reference. We were kind of... He's not evil, so it wasn't all like, the sinister kind of HAL voice. But
Can't let you do that, Dave.
Right. I think the closest we get is like, I would not advise that, David. Which, funnily enough, I didn't actually catch the fact that I had named my character David and 2001: A Space Odyssey named their character David until afterward. That was a coincidence.
Nice.
But it's kind of fun that it ended up happening that way.
Definitely turns out.
Oh yeah, so Julie just commented, Sophia is playing Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors this year, and Nick is also at WC for theater performance. Yep.
Oh, cool. Little Shop of Horrors, that's a great play.
They're doing it at the Smoky Valley Theater this year for high school, and man, they've put a lot of work in their theater program as of late. Their shows are spectacular.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Julie says all three of them are actors. Yeah, Sophia is an actress. She's not planning to go to college for acting, but she has done a lot of stage acting in high school.
I thought, well, she definitely pulls it off. You definitely. And I don't want to spoil your movie, but the interplay is really good.
Yeah. I was very impressed with all of them.
So there's,
let's see,
the love story going on between these two now too. She's been watching him watch her play piano. It's inspired her.
Julie also says Jordan and Nick will be in a film coming out from WSU this fall. Right. They're
together.
They're really good friends. They're even roommates. So they're both freshmen at WSU. So they're kind of tag teaming. And they both got cast in this sitcom film that they're doing. It's kind of a cool setup they've got. Because WSU auditions all of their shows at the beginning of the semester, and they auditioned this movie as well because it's run through the school. It's not like a student project, although students filling all the roles. And they rented a script like you would for a show, a live show. But they're making a movie out of it.
I've always thought that's a good idea for universities to do that, have more interplay between the theater and the acting folks and the film, TV folks. When I was at USC, there really wasn't much connection, and at Washburn I've tried to have a little connection, but there's really isn't that much connection.
Yeah,
they're super supportive, of course, but
right.
It's just so much work to put on a play.
Wichita State's is doing a good job. Like I said, they're auditioning for this film and all of their shows at the same time. Oh, Aiden's in the chat.
Oh no! Kick him out.
No, Aiden, you're safe. Aiden said SCA students are now required to work with SCA. Eva Hypnotic says, by the way, I've got some neat stuff I've been working on. That's cool. I'd love to hear about it.
Oh, that's really good that they require them to work together.
And
that's
then
really good because there's some really good actors there. I worked with a few on a few of my projects, not just because I was like, why shouldn't I? I mean, it's a great resource.
Right.
We're back to Squall again. He woke up. So they all had the same dream.
That's cool.
All three of them dreamt the same thing.
Eva Hypnotic asked if we want to check out some of the stuff they've been working on.
Oh, sure. What kind of stuff? I'd be happy to check it out. What's going on in LA, Replogle? Everyone should go to Indigo Moose if you ever go to Lensburg.
Yes. Oh, the ice cream name.
Best ice cream.
Aiden just goes 508 ...
Oh yeah, 508 is second semester of USC and one of the most stressful few months of my life, where I actually made a movie that Eyes Open's kind of the sequel to, which if you go to our Kickstarter, you can actually watch it. So.
Eva Hypnotic says it's channel art kind of stuff. That's what the stuff they've been working on. And asks, do you have a Discord?
We do have a Discord. We have an Everyone channel. How is he? Is Eve Hypnotic watching us on Twitch, or how are they watching us?
Yeah, Twitch.
Well, he followed us on Instagram. If you send me a message on Instagram, I can hook you up with the Discord, and I can put you in the Everyone one. We've been actually all of our movie communication meetings and everything goes through Discord. So we have lots of various channels with different departments in them. But I can certainly put you in the Everyone channel and stay up to date with all the goings-ons. Discord is awesome. Like,
oh yeah, it's my favorite way to organize projects.
Oh, for sure. It's I've used lots of different. Awesome. I mean, God, going back to the internet gaming zone in the 90s, and then I've developed apps for a while. We used something called HipChat.
Oh, nice.
It worked pretty well. I hosted it like local. Like I set up a server and hosted. It was so like we could keep all our stuff super secure.
Right. That's cool.
Oh, I remember the password.
Aiden says he's been location scouting all day and is producing P2.
Gross. I'm kidding. No, it's a lot of fun. 508 is just so intense. You make movies so quickly, and there's so much pressure.
Yeah. For anyone unfamiliar with what 508 is, it's a course at USC.
Aiden is I'm a USC alum. Aiden's a USC student currently. Oh, this is the train thing. I remember this. There's like a train mini. Oh God, I hope I've saved recently.
You Hypnotic asks, should I message you through Eyes Open Instagram handle?
Yeah. I'll check it after the stream.
Yep. And Aiden says we only wrapped P1 this last weekend.
What was your role on P1? Weren't you DP, if I remember right? Oh, is this where we get there's like a cowboy that joins your party? I think he joins it around this point.
Even Hypnotic says, got you, and thank you so much.
No problem. It's good to have you on board.
And Aiden says he was a DP.
Yeah. How'd that being DP is... I was so stressed my first time. Whenever I started playing, I'm so bad at... Whenever I started a class at USC, everyone always expected that I was like gonna be DP but the professors, because of my last name, Nyquist, because Sven Nyquist, Swedish spelling, is one of the top cinematographers of all time. He shot most of Ingmar Bergman's work. He won an Oscar for Fanny and Alexander. He shot some American stuff too, like Sleepless in Seattle, but I'm related to him. But anyway, so like first thing that would happen in like any class, the professor would be like, "Are you related to Sven Nyquist?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, well, you must be really good at cinematography." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks for the pressure."
That's cool though. I didn't know you related to him.
Yeah, he's amazing. He looks just like my dad. Like if you take his beard off, my dad and him look exactly the same.
Huh. Aiden says he's hoping this is the last time he DPs. I don't know. I love DPing. I don't relate, but
it depends. If you're with a director, oh thank God I could say it. If you're with a director that is good to work with, being a DP is awesome. If you're with a director that's hell to work with, being a DP is hell.
That makes sense.
Like it's really for me dependent on who you're working with.
I did have a project at Wichita State where the director really didn't know how to direct and kind of left it up to me as a DP, so I was kind of doing both. That was a lot.
That is a lot. Well, it's very different things. But I think there's like a... Oh, is that Renoa? Or is that someone else? Okay, yeah, it's Renoa. You see here again, love story. You can actually kind of see her face. Yeah. Almost. She has two eyes.
Now it's like 20 pixels. Or Squall looks like he's got just big eyebrows.
Oh, love triangle. Cypher's the one that introduced her to Sid. Squall looks away, of course. Yeah, I'm really excited to work on Eyes Open. I've worked on lots of projects. This is my first feature film. Some of my I worked in Hollywood for 7 years. I've been told I need to tell these stories, so I'll force them out. But probably one of my favorite things I did was work for a producer named Fred Bruce, who unfortunately passed in May. But he was sort of my mentor. But my interview with him, producing was the thing I liked the least, or the thing I really didn't think I wanted to do because it was so stressful. And then I had this opportunity. A friend was like, "Hey, there's an opportunity here. You could go interview with this producer." And then I looked him up, and he'd produced like the Godfather trilogy and like Apocalypse Now, most of Coppola's stuff, and he had all these credits and like Oscar and stuff. And so I didn't think there was any chance I'd get it, but I just went in for the experience. And I go in for the interview again, not at all expecting I would get the gig, but just for experience and maybe networking. And I go in and sit down, and he comes out, and the first thing he says is, "What's your favorite movie?" And of course, my favorite movie is Star Wars. It has been since I was a kid. It's what got me into movies. And so I say Star Wars, and he kind of leans back in his chair and he goes, "Well, did you know that I asked Star Wars?" And I had not seen that because it's not on his IMDb. It's not an official.
Whoa.
No, it's not listed. So I said, "No, I didn't know that." And he started telling me some really cool stories. My favorite one is about Harrison Ford. So Harrison Ford was his carpenter. Harrison Ford had tried to act and had been told by the studio executives he was not attractive enough to be an actor, which, take that how you will.
Yeah, he didn't have, that doesn't line up.
Didn't have the eyes for it. But Fred thought he was an awesome actor and thought he could do it. So basically tried to get him in projects. So George Lucas, at SC, ends up making THX 1138, doesn't do well. He ends up doing American Graffiti, which is very different, not sci-fi, it's more of a feel-good kind of comedy movie, coming of age thing. And so he does that, and Fred recommends Harrison Ford to him, and Harrison Ford ends up acting in that movie. And then, of course, George Lucas, after his complete and utter failure of THX, well, I actually like the movie, but THX 1138 bankrupts American Zoetrope, like their company together, which Fred was also a part of, which is why Coppola does The Godfather. 7 people had rejected it. It was supposed to be like this sleazy gangster movie, and Coppola did it because he needed the money, because Warner Brothers ended up saying to them, "Hey, the money we used on THX, that was actually a loan. You need to pay it back with interest."
Ooh.
Yeah. So they're really, really devastated. So George Lucas does this feel-good movie with Harrison Ford, and then his next thing, he wants to do Star Wars, which everyone's like, "Don't do Star Wars. You just had this terrible failure with your sci-fi movie. Why would you do it again?" But he really wants to do it. So anyway, they're casting Star Wars. He does not want Harrison Ford. And Fred's like, "Harrison Ford." And what's cool is he showed me this drawer. He still had like all the letters from George Lucas from this time period, like the hard
That's
copies.
insane.
So he like showed me this drawer of all these letters. But anyway, so Harrison Ford, George Lucas didn't want him to play the part. So what Fred did was like, "Well, there's a door that needs work where they're doing auditions, so I'm gonna hire Harrison Ford to come do carpentry work on the door." where they're doing
Nice.
auditions, and they had like everyone in Hollywood reading for these roles. And he's like, Harrison's here. You might as well let him read as Han Solo for the Lukes, which was smart because then, you see Harrison Ford read as Han Solo 100 million times, and who else is going to be Han Solo but Harrison Ford?
Right.
So finally, at the end, George like relents. It's like, okay, fine. So he tells me this story, and what's cool is Harrison Ford told this story a couple of years ago. I have it saved. But Harrison Ford told this exact same story from his point of view in an interview with I hate when I blank on names because I can't do two things at once. He directed Iron Man. He's Buddy in the Marvel movies.
Jon Favreau?
Yeah, Jon Favreau. My cousin interviewed him for a book. I can't believe I couldn't remember his name. Anyway, he did an interview with him, and he tells this story. Okay, I've got to pay attention to this. Red car is the president's car. Last car is second escort. Our ultimate goal is to seize the president in this car. It means we'll have to switch our dummy car with the president's car. We'll have to use blah, 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 blah. Okay. Sneak on board second escort. Proceed cautiously across the roof of the second escort. Proceed across the roof of the president's car. Couple. First escort car. We basically capture the train. We might not finish this by 7. We might have to finish this next.
Yeah, because we've got 4 minutes until 7.
Yeah. Be continued. Maybe there'll be a save point in there. You should be able to save. That's one of my pet peeves about games of this era. You should be able to save at any time, anywhere in a game.
Yeah. It is.
I used to have to leave like consoles on like overnight.
It would be a bit weird to save like in the middle of this cutscene, but if you could just guarantee save right before it, that'd be nice.
Or right after.
True.
Okay. 5 minutes. We might be able to do it just in time. Okay, get on this. Oh my god, can you help me remember this?
Okay, so let me hang on. Alright, I got a screenshot here so I can just read off it.
Thank you. We might be able to just finish it if it's actually going to take 5 minutes. If it ends up taking longer.
Alright, whenever you're ready, I've got the list up.
Bam. Should only take 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, so how do you avoid sensors? They have a sound sensor, temperature. Okay. Any sound triggers in, so move quietly. Okay, so move slowly. The blue cars carry a sensor. Temperature should go off. You remain stationary. Okay. So you can't. That means he's checking the sensor, so be careful. I have no idea. I don't remember. I remember playing this, but I don't remember how to do it. Okay, stop on blue, run on red. Stop on blue, run on red. That's easy.
This is a lot.
So much information. Oh my god, do I have to remember codes? Oh, no, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh my god, so 1, 2, 3, 4. O is 1. X, square, triangle. Circle, square. Okay. 3. Well, oh my god, this is gonna be a nightmare. 5 seconds. Oh, great. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 1. Is it 3, 1? Okay, I got it. Jeez. So mean. Wow, Selfie does not like Renoa. Jeez Louise, Selfie.
Man, yeah, things are getting...
One of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Yes! Oh god, don't explain it again. Can you go a couple of minutes past 7, or do you need to...
I'm good with a few minutes past 7.
Okay. I can go till, at max, 15.
That whole break in like the quality of the model stuff is kind of like the line from Back to the Future.
Yeah. One of my other favorite lines of that is in Meet the Parents, when Greg's like, "I'm so sorry," and Robert De Niro's like, "Well, it was a terrible thing, Greg." That's a great delivery.
Yeah.
Yes, we're ready. Just God, please, no more explaining. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 minutes. Go. Took like 30 minutes to explain it.
Yeah, so first step is get on the second escort and proceed across it.
Nice. Co-pilot. Logan. Squall over here. Okay.
I'm here to keep you from getting lost.
Thank you. Activate. Oh, wait.
Yep, sensors. I'm forgetting how those work.
Red is. Blue is stop, I think.
Okay.
Because I remember it was like opposite. So red is go and blue is stop, I think.
Yeah. And then you need to proceed across the president's car and uncouple the first escort car.
Nice. Okay. Sure, yes, sir. Okay, so we're Galbadian soldiers. That's what Laguna is. You can tell by the...
Yeah.
You can tell by the...
getting an alternate perspective. There's no time travel, at least not, obviously. Maybe there is.
We know of yet. Okay. This is the first escort. We're gonna uncouple this first. Like blah 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 blah. All right, I'll watch the blue guard. I'll take the red. Okay, so I need to. Red is closer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Julie commented, they're running on the top of the train. This reminds me of Aiden and Logan's Spanish film from high school, Mission Impossible. Yeah, we did a Spanish film, and we had to include like vocabulary words from everything we learned in that class, and one of the sections was on trains. So we had a section where we like green screen ourselves on top of a train.
Nice. I want to see that.
Yeah, it's fun, you know, like. It's honestly kind of decent for what we had to work with and the time frame we had to make it in, and obviously we're just, you know, goofy, campy fun, you know. But Mrs. Dietz, the teacher, still plays it every year apparently. Cool.
I would love to check it out.
Yeah, I will send it to you after this.
We survived this. 4114. 4114. We have enough time to do one more. Come on, tell me the code. 4411. 4411. Go up. Right. Okay. Well, that was...
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
So the dummy car and the base car should move in after this. And
this looks amazing for even
now.
Yeah,
it does.
It's so cool.
Oh man,
this is really freaking cool.
Yeah, their camera angles are doing it. They're doing a great job.
I had one of the actors I worked with on. Wait, am I supposed to be moving? Voiced a Final Fantasy game. I think 15, and it was an interesting process because, or it might have been 13. But he said it was interesting because the Japanese directors would try to direct the English as if they were speaking Japanese.
Huh.
Some of the so this is the dummy president. It's our like fake president. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Come on, come on, come on. This poor guy. He keeps losing paychecks. He's never going to propose.
That's rough, man.
All
Okay.
right. Okay.
So you gotta uncouple the second escort car.
Nice. Thank you. These graphics are pretty amazing.
Yeah, it works pretty well here.
Yeah, I know how to do it. Let's just do it. Okay. The timer like keeps going off and on.
I don't
Yes,
think they're
I'm-
sticking to it very much.
There's 3 minutes. Okay. Tell me the codes. 4214, 4214, 4214. Go up. Oh my god, go up. You've got to go up quickly. Jeez Louise. That was close. Okay, going back down. Okay. Oh, is that go? Oh.
Uh-oh.
I did it wrong. Go up, go up. I want to just go up. Oh my god. Did we die? It's
okay.
nothing. You guys are coming. Don't take your time to enter the right code. You can mess it up on purpose. That's what I tried to do. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, great. It won't let me. Okay, we're good. All right, let's enter a code. Give me the code. Give me the code. Give me the code. 2122. 2122. 2122. Okay, great. Now go back up. Go back up. All right, is Guardian McGarderson's coming. Okay. Both Guardian McGardersons are on their way. Okay, now leave me to do my bidding. Okay, nice. Okay, what's the code? 2143. 2143. 2. Oh, dang it! I pushed the wrong button. No, give me another code. 1312. 1312. Alright. Now go up. Oh, they're still good. Let's do one more. What's the code? What's the code? What's the code? 3344. 3344.
Oh, up.
I'm trying. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
That was so close. Wait, there's 4 codes? I thought there was 3. Alright, let's go back down. What's the code? Redoa 3334. 3334. 3334. Nice. Wait, how many codes are there? Okay, let's do one more. 3144.
Okay.
Nice. More cool animation.
Yeah.
This is intense. This is intense. Beautiful. Hopefully there's a save point right after we do all this.
Hopefully.
Not Squaresoft. Ah, we did the thing.
You got the president.
We got the. Finally, we waited so long for this encounter with Benzir. Excellent. Well done. Super duper. Nice. Okay. Well then. Leave the intelligence up to me, sir. Ouch. Yeah, that guy's had a stomachache for a while.
That's not good.
Yeah, he needs some Tums. Okay. Noah's not happy. You 3 told me we're ready to go. Okay, I just want to save. My GF. I just want to save. Well, oh, God. Okay. Do I have? Nice. We're gonna junction real quick, just in case. Okay, please let me save. Okay, good. It's gonna let me save. We can actually wrap this up.
Fantastic.
Please.
Yep, there it is.
Awesome. Okay, everybody. Thank you for everybody for listening. Check out eyesopenmovie.com. Check out our Kickstarter. Check us out on all the various social medias. Eyes Open Movie on everything. And thank you, of course, to the wonderful Logan Bodenhamer for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's our guided tour of Final Fantasy VIII, and look forward to finishing this up. Continuing through next time.
Absolutely.
See you later, everybody.
See ya.